Hey, how are we all doing? Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. How are we all? Thank you very much for joining me for another week. We are back. Of course, it's Monday, the start of a fresh week and the start of a fresh week of stream. So howdy all. How are we? Nick was first. How are we doing, Nick? Great to see you. Scottish. Everything Cyber Canada says, let's do this. Indeed. And Gaza says, hi all. Hello to you, legends. How are we all doing? Thank you very much for joining me today. Should be a good stream. And yeah, we've got obviously plenty to look into. So sit back, get relaxed, and yeah, jump in. First and foremost, you will notice the time change. So we are live a little bit earlier today, and that is because of obviously the clock change in the UK, which sets us back to if I just have a look, yeah, obviously the US market opening at 1:30 instead of 2:30. So that means that the market is open in 45 minutes instead of obviously the 2:30 open that we've been used to now for, you know, the past 6 months or whatever it is from when the clocks last changed. So yeah, we are live a little bit earlier to obviously get a bit more of a build up leading into the open. And then, of course, that in turn means that the time will be changed. Now, I was a little tiny bit late from 12 today. But from now on, obviously, it will aim to be 12:30 until 2:30, where we were previously doing 1 till 3, wasn't we? So that's just a little bit of a change to obviously let you guys know for stream times and obviously when we'll be going live. Alistair, how we doing? Says happy Mondays. Yes, happy Monday. Thank you very much for joining. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Let me know in the chat, what did you get up to this weekend? What did you get up to this weekend? Did you get to anything much? Did you enjoy yourself? Yeah, do let me know. I'm keen to know. But yeah, where are we on Bitcoin? Well, we had a superb rally, didn't we? Come in, starting yesterday, and then followed into early hours of this morning. Now, we did come in and sweep something that I was looking at, this area of liquidity. Now, we looked at this last week, didn't we? We looked at this last week. As you can see, I had the arrows drawn up for, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was this area here. There was like a separation in there. But the idea that, there was kind of two regions of interest for Bitcoin. And of course, we went on to get that second one. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's a good liquidity grab. As you can see, we've come up, we've cleared these highs here, which were yet to be cleared. We've also obviously cleared here. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a really good liquidity grab, and was, of course, a good place for a short had you been looking at it and had it marked on. But I noticed it this morning, woke up and I thought, oh, right, okay, that looks good. I haven't taken a short myself, but yeah, it was definitely a good area for risk reward for a short, in my opinion, anyway. Up to 117k-ish, then big test to see if we can break through, says Scottish. Do you reckon? I mean, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, we've already dropped like 2k, haven't we, from the high? My idea was that this area would obviously be a good liquidity grab and then maybe settle back down. Now, I don't know if we're going to do that or not. We might not do. We might not do. But yeah, my idea was that we'd come up, swipe this, and then drop down. Now, yeah, we could definitely push on. So you're saying 117, which would be here. To be honest, I mean, when we're looking at the 4 hour, the most obvious and glaring place staring us in the face is up here, isn't it? Because this is obviously where the sell-off began and where, the turmoil began. On the 4 hour, 117k doesn't really look like much because we've literally just got, as you can see, we've just ripped through these areas the whole time, haven't we? I mean, if you look at when we come up at the start of October, start of the month, we just ripped through that like it was nothing. And on the downside, of course, that was very aggressive selling. Now, 117k on the kind of higher time frame. Let's have a look. You can definitely see where Scottish is getting that from in here. You can see all the price action. In October, we've kind of just ripped through that 117k area without it really being much. But I think obviously the big test will be up here. If the market can get up here, this will be the big test, because that should in theory be really tough supply for the market to chew through, because that's obviously where we sold off from. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Mic problem, is there? Hang on. No, it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be any mic problem. Maybe it went off for a second or so. I don't think there should be any mic problem. How are we doing, Kev? Great to see you. Wiz, my man, how are we? Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? How was the weekend? Everyone, let me know. How was your weekend? Let me know what you got up to. What did you get up to over the weekend? But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, obviously we looked at this, didn't we, last week? This area. For anyone just joined, we were just looking at this area. So I think it was basically all last week, but particularly later last week, we looked at this area for a liquidity grab Obviously, it made sense because we had these highs here that remained unswept. Also, we had this to clear, which we come out in clear. But the main one looking at this. So we've put in, obviously, that liquidity grab there. You can see it on the wick. Cleared out the liquidity above here. The question is, where do we go next? Now, there's obviously a few areas for us to maybe tackle. Now, I don't know if we have a CME gap. We do. So we do have a CME gap, and that is down towards 111. So it's quite a big CME gap that we've got going on there. So down towards 111. If we look at that on the actual exchange chart, that would basically take us into here. So I think you can basically map out this area and say, if you dip into there, you close the CME gap. And that is obviously probably a decent spot risk reward wise. If we get there, pull into there, close the CME gap, and then bounce. We might not get that. I think probably the other area to watch out for would be this wick as maybe a clearance. But I mean, we say this all the time, don't we, about CME gaps? We say them all the time, and they eventually, they do eventually end up being closed, don't they? They do eventually end up being closed almost all of the time. It's just a case of patience, and also maybe maybe a little bit of a while. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to close this right now or this week. That might get left, that might get left behind for if we do something like this. You've got that CME gap there, but we could get something like this where we rip up first into supply, we then reject, and then we just kind of slow bleed down, and then maybe go again to try and obviously overcome this area and target the highs. Could do something like that, and obviously that would push it maybe into the start of November. Who knows what, but yeah, it doesn't mean that we're going to close it this week. Thai food and Jay's challenge. Okay. Very nice, Alistair. Yeah, I like it. Do make sure if you drop a big like on the stream. Let's see what likes we're cooking. 8 likes. Poor showing so far. Please do make sure, if you haven't, scroll down, hit the like button. There's a good amount of you that are watching that haven't liked, so please do like. It does help out the stream, of course, massively. And yeah, if you aren't signed up to BLOFIN, you know what to do. Sign up to BLOFIN. I'll pin it in the chat, but it is, of course, also in the description. Let me just get that in here. For those of you, you do get some great welcome bonuses, some great deposit bonuses, and of course, it's non-KYC. I assume most of you are already signed up, but for those of you that maybe aren't, do sign up to it. So yeah, we could do something like this. If you're looking in and around the CME gap, I think these areas just stand out themselves structurally, regardless. So I think that this area structurally just looks like a great place in terms of where maybe you would want to buy, because got consolidation, then bang, expansion. That's obviously demand down there now. So this is obviously a demand area because this is where demand came in. That's where we expanded from. And then, of course, up there being supply area where we sold off from. This is a liquidity area. Of course, when Bitcoin next moves, we can remove this off the chart. For now, we'll leave it on because all we've done at the moment is liquidity grab. But we'll leave it on there. And yeah, that's kind of where we're, in and around on Bitcoin. If you have any thoughts on Bitcoin, do let me know in the chat. I'm keen to know what you guys think. What's going to pump today, Dave? Stonksy green on Dave. I heard double confirmation. What's going to pump today? I mean, equities look like they're just going to keep pumping, don't they? So I would probably say that. Equities, Mag 7. I mean, this thing just keeps on chugging, doesn't it? It's now coming towards 7,000, but yeah, I imagine, you would think anyway, these will just keep on chugging. I think all these are going to open up as well, aren't they? Yeah, video back to 190. Yeah, these all look like they're opening higher, which would make sense, obviously, with the move. Tesla not really moving that much, but the rest of them all opening decently higher. So, yeah, I would say Equities look good. Again, Bitcoin's a bit interesting because Bitcoin's kind of done a lot of its move, hadn't it? So Bitcoin's done a lot of its move while equities were closed. We basically have to come to this candle an hour before this candle opened for where equities were. And as you can see, Bitcoin had already started pushing up over the weekend. So Bitcoin's already had a real decent move. Now, obviously from here, yeah, I think if you're not already positioned, it's a bit of an interesting area. I mean, you could definitely short, but obviously it would have been better to get it up here, wouldn't it? So yeah, on Bitcoin, maybe it's a position of wait and see. And obviously for ETH as well, for ETH, that doesn't look like a good 4-hour candle to me on the 4-hour time frame. That is kind of looking at a trend reversal, and we've already pulled back a decent amount. ETH's a bit interesting. If we zoom out on ETH, let's see what we're looking at. I mean, yeah, that's what we looked at for this pump up here. So I haven't actually done much analysis on ETH for a long while. I'm so gutted that I didn't short this when we were looking at this up here. That was like pinpoint accuracy, weren't it, for the top of that local move before selling off. Like pinpoint. I remember we mapped that out on stream and everything and discussed ETH coming into supply up there. I mean, that would have been such a good trade. But I mean, really, ETH locally, you can see we've got demand down here, and again, you could draw this different. If we want to kind of get rid of that box and you want to kind of align it more to this price action, you definitely could. This is obviously pulled all the way from the left somewhere, but you could definitely, you could definitely rejig this for now if you wanted to. Obviously, given the price action from middle of October onwards. But I think you look at ETH and you say, well, what are we doing on ETH? You've basically just got this SR here, haven't you? And again, you could draw this a bit different if you wanted, but you've basically got this area where it treated it as support for a little bit, then dropped off, then come up, hit supply, bang, tailed off, and again, today hit that area, just the underside of it, very ever so gently, and then tailed off. So what can we do with that? What can you do with this information? Basically, this has become just one trading range for ETH now, and I think it's pretty evident. And again, this will depend on where you want to draw it down to. If you want to use this box all the way down here, or there's definitely, you've definitely got room to maybe draw something like this if you wanted to pull it up a bit more. I think we'll do that just for the sake of this, but let me yeah, that is now the trading range, and that has been obviously from middle of October onwards. So what do you do with that information? Of course, it's pretty simple. We break down from there. I'd probably be looking at 3-4 next. Obviously, come and fill that wick in too. Maybe wick the wick. And then to the upside, of course, we break above resistance here, and then we come in. Now, again, this will probably depend on how hard Bitcoin wants to run, but I would say, in that area would probably give us some resistance, but then ultimately we'd be rerunning the October high into here because that is big supply, and I'll just zoom out to show you why. So you can see, obviously, we had it here. We come in middle of September, pushed up, bang, hammer come down, dropped off. We then obviously dropped off pretty significantly, and then we rose all the way up again, come into supply, the supply area where we sold off last time, and that's why I say this area for Bitcoin will be very, very interesting to see what happens in, because if you look, obviously this is where we had the sell-off on Bitcoin. This is where we sold off from. And again, it's kind of no different to when we're looking at a chart like this on ETH. Obviously the sell-off wasn't as aggressive, but it's just it's an area where prices sold off from aggressive, hard. So, yeah, but that's what I'd be looking at on ETH. You break above, you break above 4.3, and be looking at 4.530-ish, and then of course looking at this sell-off zone. And then apart from that, you're then on to kind of the big daily resistance, or sub 5k. Zcash, Hype Long cashed in as well. What gets to 5k first? ETH or gold? I mean, we discussed this, didn't we? I think it was on your stream on Friday, weren't it? And I said gold. I mean, you're looking at it now, aren't you? And you're thinking Bitcoin is probably going to have to pull itself up towards 100 and... I mean, obviously things can change because ETH can gain momentum on Bitcoin pretty quickly. But you're talking probably 125 to 130k at least, aren't you? For ETH to get back up to there, you would imagine. Gold is obviously still selling off. Gold's back down towards 4k. I wonder if there's anything on there for them both not to hit 5k before the year's out. Obviously, you probably wouldn't get that as a thing together, but ETH to not hit 5k and gold to not hit 5k before the year's out. I wonder if that is an actual thing or not. Do make sure you've dropped the like though, and let me know, of course. If you want me to cover anything specific, I can do. But let's see. Let's see. Ethereum. What price will Ethereum hit in 2025? Let's see. So currently 5,000, a no is 50-50 basically. It's basically a no. I mean, something like this. I mean, that just the odds are terrible, but it just kind of looks like free money. That, doesn't it? 7k. I mean, that just kind of looks like free. You wouldn't get very good return. I mean, you're literally risking money for hardly any gain, but it does kind of look a bit like free money. I mean, something like this as well, 10k. You wouldn't really want to do much for. You wouldn't really want to do much risk for a 5% gain, would you? But again, that looks like there's just no way. I mean, something like this. I mean, 17k before 2025 is over. I mean, even if you lump that on, you're literally making hardly any. You'd have to lump on like $1 million, wouldn't you, to get that? And then you'd probably get hit with a massive spread. But yeah, now obviously there's that. Let's see gold. What price will gold close at? No, we don't want gold closing. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's the first to 5k. I know you sent me that, didn't you, Wiz? I don't want that. I want what will it hit in 2020? What will it hit in 2025? It doesn't seem like they've got it. It doesn't seem like they've got it. Yeah. But there we go. So that's where we're up to with that. Random question: where's the best place to buy Premier League tickets? Oh, I don't know. I normally just buy them off my friend if I want to go to a Liverpool game. I normally just buy them off my friend. I would probably say, I imagine StubHub and Ticketmaster, maybe. I imagine StubHub probably has a lot of them on there. I'd probably say Ticketmaster and StubHub, maybe. I don't even know if they sell them on Ticketmaster. Like, I don't even know if that's really used for for Premier League games. StubHub definitely will be. But yeah. Dave, Elon is making robots that will cost about 20k estimate. What happens if you get the robots to start mining gold? Well, they wouldn't really be able to, would they? This is a good question that I've got. That literally, I was thinking about this the other day, Steve. Not that, but this. Let's see. Because this is my favourite show. And I haven't looked to see when/if there's a new season. Oh, look at that. It premieres on Friday. So a week on Friday. On the Discovery Channel. Oh. Yes. I love this. The new season features facing new high state. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love that show. So that's good. A week on Friday. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they wouldn't really be able to mine it with the bare hands. I mean, if you watch Gold Rush, which I probably assume you do, that seems like a show that you'd like, Steve-O. But I mean, the machinery obviously involved, they wouldn't just be able to mine it. Now, the question is obviously if you could get them to drive them. Now, if you could get them to drive the trucks, yeah, but you can't really ever replace that human instinct. You know, like say when they're driving the rock trucks and stuff, and you know maybe like it topples over, or you know they're gonna slide down a mountain or something like that. I don't think you can ever really replace fully that kind of human instinct into what to do in situations like that. I mean, if you can sort of, I don't know. In my honest answer is I don't know. But yeah, smash the likes. Do you have any Arsenal fan friends? Yes, actually, one. Baldy McGinge in CSE and in Stonksy is an Arsenal fan. But I think he's basically the only Arsenal fan that I know. Oh no, I do have a friend who's an Arsenal fan, but he lives up by me. He lives nowhere near the Emirates. But Baldy McGinge is an Arsenal fan. Yeah. I don't think cheap labour is an issue for a lot of gold miners now. Well, not a lot of profitable ones anyway, yeah. I mean, if you watch Gold Rush, you'll be able to see, won't you, like, how a lot of them struggle to obviously, you know, make enough money and turn profits and stuff like that. But, yeah. I mean, the amount of money that some of them are pulling out the ground is insane. But I don't think really them robots will ever be at the point. Not ever be at the point, but definitely not now. Like you can probably set them to do tasks, can't you? Like go and do the washing up, or go and do some hoovering, or do whatever. But that human instinct, you know, that human decision making and stuff like that, what to do in certain situations, I don't think really can ever replace that. Not yet, anyway. But yeah, that's good. Gold Rush week on Friday. Oh, I'm excited now. Oh, I'm excited. Shh, my favourite show is on. Right, what have we got in terms of crypto? MicroStrategy up ever so slightly. Coinbase up a little bit. These had a great day, didn't they, on Friday? Tell you what, Wiz, I was kind of gutted that we didn't take that. Well, I don't know if you did or not, but obviously when you mentioned about the circle calls for $300 or whatever it was, when I saw this move on Friday, I was thinking, oh, should have took it. Should have took them November calls for end of November, $300 or whatever it was. Yeah. But these are moving quite nicely. Obviously, MSTR still struggling to get going a bit. Still kind of struggling to get going. I would still love it to pull down here. But yeah, I don't know if really we've got to get that. What I am interested to see is this thing. So yeah, this thing has started to push up off the lows pretty nicely. I was actually quite interested in this down here and I didn't buy any. But this thing is actually, this thing has pushed up like 15%, which isn't bad. I was quite interested in this. The only problem with this is the entry is rubbish, but if Bitcoin's going to do another leg up, then you would probably think it'll do pretty good. Tron's coming back down quite nicely, isn't it? Obviously not there yet compared to where it was, but so what would that be? Might not even revisit there. That's a 30% drop all the way down there. That's a pretty deep drop, isn't it? But yeah, that's where we're up to with crypto-related stocks anyway. They will replace coal miners, robots. I mean, yeah, they'll probably replace a lot of things, won't they? They'll replace a lot of things in due course, like. You do wonder what the world looks like, don't you? Like, what does the world look like in another 10, 15, 20 years? It'd be crazy. It will be quite wild. But yeah, that's obviously where we're up to with that. Now, XRP was something that was showing strength on Friday on its own. And this has pushed up quite nicely. Now, if we look on the daily on XRP, we are basically approaching the point of coming in for an SR test. Now, again, you can draw this as different as you want. Let's make that box a little more neat and tidy. But I think, definitely coming up to that kind of 275 level is kind of the point of make or break. Because if you close back inside this box, all good, being without a complete Bitcoin collapse, that then reopens this trading range. So XRP, you close above 275 on the daily. And then we just reopen this, which is obviously where it traded throughout August to the middle of October. So, this is a 2-month trading range, wasn't it? Resistance up here, support down here. Bob's your uncle. But yeah, obviously that test coming up, maybe soon, will be what's key to see if we can get that reopened or not. But yeah, it's not too far away, but again, this is just very, very simple. You just look on the chart and you can see exactly XRP, where is SR, where is SR, what are the possibilities for what? And there we have it. Pith, scraping the lows. Hey, Tantana, how we doing? Been link stacking, have you? You definitely have. Almost golden cross for 4 hour for Bitcoin. It's already played out. Not the maybe not the cross itself, but these things are already priced into the price. So that move that we saw over the weekend and stuff like that, obviously, if you like looking at your golden crosses or what have you, that's already played out, hasn't it? We've already pushed up quite nicely, just kind of front run, if you will. Jeff, what's up? How we doing? Anybody got a good setup to trade? Well, you got XRP right here that I've just drawn out. Obviously not right now because we're waiting for a setup. So you're either waiting, and basically for something like this is actually quite good, because what you could do on these points where you get a key retest like this, you could take either or. You could take one and then you could look to flip. So as it approaches 275-ish, if you can say you get a daily close in and around there, obviously, you will want to be, if you're looking for a swing, obviously targeting the upside. And again, where you put your stop loss is up to you. That's at your discretion, whatever. But there's definitely reason for taking both. And then, if you're wrong on one, obviously then just looking to take the other. But there's definitely reason for, when we approach here, you could quite easily take either or, to be honest. And then obviously whatever happens in the next day, 2 days, 3 days of price action coming after that will obviously then direct for if you're right or wrong, if you even need to swap over, but obviously maybe swapping over. But when you get a significant test like this, which is what I would call this is, this is a significant test of daily SR. This was used once, twice, 3 times, all as support, all successfully held when XRP was in this range. And yeah, obviously it's coming up for a test, so you could definitely take either or on that. Now, it probably will also depend on what Bitcoin's going to do. If Bitcoin, say, pushes up a bit more and then crashes all the way back down to 112 or whatever, this may end up just kind of painting the rejection for XRP. But the XRP chart, for me, this is what this is showing. And again, you could wait, you could take one or the other. I don't know. It's completely up to yourself. If Bob's your uncle, what's your auntie's name? I think we all know the answer to that, don't we? You need to drink whiskey with that sort of cough. The thing is, it's basically gone. I'm not really coughing or whatever. I think it's just because I'm talking non-stop. I do need to get my hoodie though. Oh. There we go. Or Manuka honey, lemon and hot water. Yeah, I used to take Manuka honey all the time. What's your thoughts on DOT? I mean, we'll have a look at the chart. Neil. My personal thoughts are just bag of rubbish, but yeah, we'll have a look and give you a professional opinion. But my personal thoughts on just the whole thing is just bag of rubbish, but yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen a bull market where everything follows Bitcoin so close. I've only been scalping Bitcoin. Not a bad decision. DOT, yes. Yeah, let's have a look at DOT. I mean, I personally just don't. I really just don't like it. It's just my personal opinion. I just really don't like it. I just think it's just like it's just a failed project, and again, not necessarily meaning that it can't go higher. I mean, DOT. These levels have been drawn on for ages. This it still stands, and we must have drawn this on like a good 6 months ago, maybe now, good 5 6 months ago. But I mean, this still stands. Let me just get rid of some of this to clear it up a bit. But if you're looking on the weekly, where we can get a very decent outlook on DOT. Let's just see. Get rid of that. So. These are the kind of the key weekly levels, the key weekly areas for resistance to come into the upside. I mean, the problem we've got at the moment is for the past few weeks we have been testing new weekly lows, haven't we? Obviously, not even accounting for this wick, but in terms of like DOT's actual structure, before obviously we had it a bit in June and a bit now. Before that, we hadn't really closed below 360 before, had we? It does look like, it's trying to kind of hold on. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it did something like this. Ultimately, it's still a large cap and it will still trade with the market. If Bitcoin starts dragging everything up, it's still very likely to trade with the market. But yeah, I look at it and I just think, what is like the hope for this? I think the main hope for this is that basically Bitcoin just drags up the rest of the market and it gets a pump with the rest of the market. Mate, if it goes to $20, what I would say is that is the biggest gift you could possibly be given. Honestly, I'm telling you now, like if DOT goes to $20, that is the biggest gift you could ever. And I've got it drawn on there. It's not like I haven't got it drawn on there. This area here, which is a bit of a wide area, but basically it's just obviously where all this price action occurred on the weekly. I'm telling you now, that would be the biggest gift to man. I think this would be a bigger gift than like ETH going to 10k. A bigger gift than Bitcoin going to 150k. If you are able to, have accumulated DOT below $5 and somehow it gets up towards 20, that is an unbelievable opportunity to dump the hell out of it. Not financial advice, of course. It's just what I would do. But yeah, I just think the chart looks like ass, and it has the chance. It has the chance to turn it around. I think this line here where Stonksy's got Drew on at 356 is the perfect kind of SR. So we regain that, and then you kind of reopen this area, don't you? You do reopen this, but it has to show strength first. It has to show you that it's got strength in it. It has to show its hand, and for me, it's not done that yet. So it has to regain 356 for a weekly close, and regain, which would then ultimately be just like last time. Look what last time it did. It pushed all the way up there. And again, within this range, this area here around, 450 is definitely, some sort of weekly local resistance as well. Inside here, alongside this being the key point. But, it just has to do what it did last time. And it has to show strength and regain here. Until then, I'm just not convinced. But I'm not mad, mate. I mean, I don't hold any of it, so it really doesn't bother me. If it gets to $20, I'd be ecstatic for you. I think I would be happier for you than you would be happier if DOT got to $20, because I would be messaging you non-stop saying, don't be an idiot, take profits. Look at the chart. Look what happened to it. That all them weeks and all them months and all them years. Do not let yourself hold it all the way back down there. But yeah, that's what I think on DOT anyway. Yeah, again, nothing personal towards it, nothing personal to anyone that holds it. I just think the chart looks like a bag of crap. But again, it can change your mind, and ultimately it needs to regain this level for a weekly close, and I will then be on board for looking, higher up towards 450, maybe up towards 525. But I just don't see the individual strength there. I just think all I see is Bitcoin carrying it. Bitcoin carrying it with with it being a large cap. But yeah, hopefully not too many DOT maxis in here to kind of rip my hair out. Do make sure you drop a big like on the stream now, and do subscribe if you are new. ETH chart looks a bit messy, doesn't it there? But yeah, what are we up to next? Solana. Solana. Let me get rid of this level. That's kind of unneeded now. I think we can move this up as well. I'd be interested in moving this up to a better daily close area in there. Yeah, sweet spot. Bang. Yeah, I mean, Solana looks good to me. Again, yet to revisit the sell-off area. So, much like Bitcoin and everything else, that's not kind of been on an unholy pump. Needs to revisit the sell-off area if it can. But, definite daily demand down there. And I think, something for like Solana, again, just so easy. You look at the chart. This is a buy because we've held there. If we start breaking down, start targeting 160, 158-ish. And then I imagine up here will be a fade, because you don't just come into big supply like that and just crush through it straight away, unless we are just on the biggest melt up phase, since basically last November. Unless we're in one of them, then I think this is kind of the play, in my opinion. And very simple, very, very straightforward. And of course, Stonksy has been living it large on Solana. Very, very nice. Let's see what is the 1 hour saying. What is the 1 hour saying? Yeah, the 1 hour's green. Very, very nice. Yeah, I mean, definite low time frame momentum is to the upside. But if we flick to something like for the 4 hour, let me just pull that in there. Yeah, I just think for the whole market, revisiting that sell-off zone is going to be really difficult to break through first time. I think it'll just be a bit of a challenge. Not a challenge that can't be overcome. I just think realistically, that is an area where you don't punch through first time. Again, unless we see some sort of crazy momentum like we saw last November. But yeah. Solana looking good. Stonksy long on it. Pushing up nicely. Hyperliquid has come into the key area again. You can see. I haven't even looked at Hype. And bang, there it is, fired into key SR. It's still long on the hourly too. Still long on the hourly. But if you look on the daily, again, this is just It's just key resistance in it. You know, once, twice, 3 times, pushed through, back below, 4 times, 5 times. This is just key resistance. And yeah, basically, you just need to close above to then start looking at, the highs. Until then, great rally. Great rally since Thursday, superb rally. But ultimately, we are still capped by daily resistance. So, this has the potential to obviously come back down. Has the potential to hang around, whatever. But, you really do need to break above 50 with strength. B&B has bounced off the SR quite nicely as well. This is trending back to the upside. Doge. Aster. This thing's quite interesting. I've just been monitoring this all the way down, just adding the SR level. So, Aster, again, very, very straightforward. This is key SR in it. This is key SR. And again, all you need to do is get above and then start looking towards 150. Needs to get above kind of comfortably 125 for a 4-hour close, and then can start then looking to flip that to support, and then that obviously then that opens the road then towards the next resistance level, in my humble opinion. I think that's probably, very basic again on Aster, just a couple of levels and that's it, innit? Apex, kind of just hanging around. Pump's done very well, hasn't it? Pump has done very, very well. Really strong move from the lows. And, yeah, really strong move back to the upside now. Let me get rid of this because that was a level from on the way down. Let me get rid of this. I think that is a much cleaner way to look at pump. There you go. So, you've got resistance all along here. Back test, support, melt through. But now we are obviously testing it again and it is become resistant. So again, a lot like hype. Really good run so far. Really nice run since Thursday onwards. But ultimately, it needs to get above here. And then, again, that will open the road in towards supply. Very easy, very straightforward. But yeah, pump looks good. Really nice move. What's it done? If you got in, obviously you're not gonna perfect ticket, but let's just say anywhere in and around them 2 daily candles. Currently 28%, as high as 30s to 40. Very nice. Very, very nice on pump. Pepe, still doing the same thing, innit? Just still wedged in here. Plan remains the same. And I imagine that is, likely the same for all things. Is where they're just kind of just wedged in. Let's see what Link's been doing. The good old Link. So yeah, we're yet to really test anything on Link. We haven't come up to either of the areas of interest. We're kind of just in the middle, aren't we? But yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, Link, we set out the areas of interest to the downside. The area of interest to the upside would be $20. And again, you watch for rejection or you watch for regain to then open the push back up. I do want to get rid of that level though. Kind of pull that down. Just smarten up the chart a bit because it's been a while since we was up at them highs. Yeah. Again, same for Link. Just still waiting. AVAX. AVAX was superb, wasn't it? Had such a good run. I think the thing with AVAX is came in for a real nice test, didn't it, on this candle here? So Wednesday just gone, Wednesday last week. We had a good real test of demand, a solid test of demand there. and bounce nicely. And again, what I would say on AVAX is, yeah, any revisit down to there, you want to hold. If we close, if we go below there, we'll probably start looking, obviously, at the lower levels drew out. But, you'd like to think that demand zone holds there, should it obviously be tested again. But very simple on AVAX. This is obviously high time frame at SR. So, in the long term, you obviously need to flip this to then reopen the price action to up here. Again, may sell off from there. Just drawing all possibilities on for you. That's KSR, so rejection or reclaim. Here's demand, so you want to hold that. You drop below demand, no good. Are you in a trade, Dave? No, but I'm looking to get into one. It's annoying because I was staring at Bitcoin this morning when we got that liquidation of the upside 116k. I was staring at it. I was thinking, I should probably short here, but family duties, mate, this morning, and I kind of just let it get away from me. But I am looking to get into a trade. I'm just kind of deciding what is kind of the best risk reward at this point. Everything's had a decent bounce from over the weekend, hasn't it? Really good. Oh, look at Velo there. Look at Velo go, and Pi. Pi's had a really good pump. That was good. I'm looking to get into a trade, hopefully. The only problem is, obviously, we've got FOMC on Wednesday, so I'm not looking really to position too heavily leading into that. This thing is just, whoa, look at that. There we go. Bang on, the next level. This thing just keeps going, doesn't it? There we go. So, that is just a crazy monthly candle, innit? I mean, not mentioning, obviously, the one before, but I mean, in the last 2 months, it's took out 4 years of sell pressure. But that has swept the high now. So what I would say on Zcash is, if you're looking for a risk reward, I mean, it's just swept the 2021 high. So, you may get stopped out. You may not. But, I mean, there's 10%. The downside is ultimately unlimited from this point on. If, that is it done. Swept the 2021 high. If it's not going to go higher. I mean, I didn't even realize it was at that point. This I would be interested in having a stab at shorting. Again, it may not work out. Not financial advice. Be very careful because it's obviously very strong. But I mean, the risk reward is right there, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm quite interested in Zcash actually. Now I've just seen that. Ultimately, what you're running with is that it's just filled in that candle and swept the May 2021 high, and then that's it done. That's that's obviously the theory that you're running with from this point. It might not do that, but I think, risk reward wise, it's obviously there. You just tailor it to your risk, don't you? You just tailor it to your risk. Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, that's a what's that? That's a 3.38R trade. Another 10% takes it up to 400. It may go for a little bit of price discovery. It may go for a bit of price discovery. It may carry on. I mean, you just really don't know at this point, do you? What I would say is, obviously, a lot of people are now 10x plus, maybe. You know, depending on obviously where people got in. But the average seems to be around 30, done it for the last couple of years. So a lot of people are now 10x, 11x, 12x. Crypto stocks. Yeah, I mean, we can have a look at some crypto stocks, Nick, yeah. I'm just kind of deciding on what to do with this because I am thoroughly interested in it. I am thoroughly interested in maybe taking a trade on this. What's the funding like on it? Let's see what the funding like is on it. Let's see. Zach. The funding is neutral, to be fair. Yeah. The funding is neutral. Yeah, I am interested. Let me know in the chat. Do you think we should open? I should open a short on Zach here. Sure. I mean, surely you can't get much more of a bullish wick than a bullish candle than that, can you? I mean, how high is this thing gonna go? I am interested. I'm very interested. Let's have a look at the daily. What did that daily candle do? All them years ago. Bloody hell. Look how far back we're having to go for this. So that was just like, that ended up being just one big wick. That ended up just being one big wick, didn't it? Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm gonna go for it. I think I'm gonna take trade on this. I just need to move some money around first. Wait, hang on. I've missed US Open. Haven't I? I've missed everything open now. Yeah? I've missed it. Bloody hell. I forgot with the time change. I forgot about the time change. Where's the bell? Sorry about that, everyone. I completely forgot with the time change. Let me, I just need to load up. I am going to have a go at shorting Zach. So, yeah, of course, not financial advice. Don't think about following me. Where is it? Where is it, Zach? Yeah, I mean, the risk reward is definitely there, isn't it? You know, the risk reward is there. Let's see. Right. Let's see. What have we got? I can't believe I missed US Open. That's what the good luck, Dave. I mean, yeah, it could go very well. It could go very wrong, couldn't it? That's the thing. It could go marvelously well. It could go terribly wrong. I mean, for me, you wait. You know, you wait a good long while for things to come like that, don't you? Like, it's not every day you get things just completely filling in the price action from years and years ago. So we'll have a go, and if it doesn't come off, then I'll obviously be sure to tell you guys. I want to try and get in on it though, because it is dropping a couple dollars, isn't it? So yeah, I want to try and get in on it before it does that. Let's see. I don't know why Coinbase always tries to change it into euros for some reason. There we go. Right. Oh no! Oh, it's dropping in it. Oh bloody hell! It's dropping down. Hold steady. Hold steady. This is gonna, if this falls before let's see, go away. USDT, Solana. This shows why you should always be prepared as well for any outcome, because I wasn't prepared for this, so I'm having to move money around live on stream, because I wasn't prepared to take a trade right now, which is obviously a good lesson in it, is to always have funds ready. You know, it's a good lesson. Anyway, there we go. Getting it onto BLOFIN now. Oh, not this stupid thing. Does anyone else have it where Phantom Wallet, you'll get to the send screen and it just not load the network fee? So you're just kind of just stuck because it's not loading the network fee. Come on. Why is it doing this? There we go. Right, that's annoying. Let's hope that BLOFIN are quite fast, aren't they, with depositing funds anyway? So let's hope that can get on there before it maybe drops anymore. What have we got coming anyway? 560 next for ZEC if it pumps, maybe, yeah. Mavi is short, could be a play. Bitcoin not looking great today so far. I mean, the thing is, yeah, this could easily do another 50, 100%, couldn't it? I mean, let's have a look at the hourly candles. They come pretty fast, but consolidation below previous high. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what will I be taking it on? I'll probably be taking it on just like a low, nice low, like 5x or something. And then, you know, there's your back down to 283 is your 100% P&L. And then kind of manage from there, aren't you? You're talking about Mavi short, yeah. I mean, the US market is actually open now as well. We missed that because of looking at ZEC and stuff like that. But yeah, the US market is actually open now. I mean, Bitcoin's tailing off. There's that, you know, that liquidation there, isn't it? There's the liquidation. Also, what's really annoying is I withdrawn some money from trading 212 this morning. And the previous times I've done that, it's been instant. But it's still not come through. What's going on with this? That's nearly done. Let's see. Where is our good old Zeki? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, does anyone think I may be jumping the gun with this? I don't know. I don't know if I am or not. I don't know whether I'm jumping the gun or not. Let's see. Oh, they've come through. There we go. Fantastic stuff. Let's see. What are we gonna short it on? Let's see. 407. Oh no, that's not enough for him, is it? Or is it? Oh, fuck it. There we go. There we go. Well, my deck short is open, so it's either liquidation or glory. We'll see which one it is. We'll soon see which one it is. Too much of a gamble with ZBK. Well, yeah, I am. I am being careful. Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. The thing is, this is the type of thing that I really, really like on a chart. Is the point of where everyone gets scared to try and short it, and then you zoom out like that, and you just like, oh right, well it's just literally just filled in and swept the historical high. I mean, I don't know if there's more data on this from 2017/18, but I mean that is literally just come in, filled in that wick and swept the high. So, I mean, from that standpoint, it ticks the right boxes for me. And again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll show you where I've put my stop anyway. I'll show you where I've put my stop. So you can watch the chart and let me know if, well, you'll be able to know if I get stopped out. My stop is at 407. That worked out quite well for me. And what am I targeting? Well, I mean, it has the potential to be the run high, doesn't it? It has the potential to be the run high. It also has the potential just to be a pullback zone. But any pullback sub 300, I'd be happy with. But yeah, I've given myself about 13% on my stop anyway. So what has caused it to pump like that? Just because some guy tweeted, it's just the narrative of privacy. It's like the privacy narrative. There's just like been an emerged narrative around privacy, and obviously Zek is basically up. The problem with Monero is I think it had a 51% attack, didn't it? Zek is basically just a privacy version of Bitcoin. If you don't know what it is, it's basically just like a privacy version of Bitcoin. But like I said, I mean, there'll be plenty of people that have sat on their coins for years and have finally been gifted, a 10, 11, 12x. If you've been high conviction in it and you've had that patience and that patience has paid off, you'd imagine that, you'd be itching to pay yourself, wouldn't you? In my view anyway. It's the S&P doing, just kind of hanging around. The thing is, remember, we've got FOMC on Wednesday. We've got FOMC on Wednesday, so anything could happen between now and Wednesday, and then obviously Wednesday itself. What I do want to do though is I want to pull Zek up now that we have a trade on it. Yeah, I want to pull it up to the top. Let's see. Let's just stick it in there. This was another one. I mean, I haven't really kept up to trading with this, but from the first time around, where is it? From the first time around when we traded it, is Zen. This has done great. I mean, first looked at this at $9, didn't we? And then it went to 18. Then it come all the way back towards the starting point. I mean, yeah, we first looked at this down here around $9. It went all the way up here, then drifted all the way back there. Nice leveled off bit. It's done another 30%, 40% from there. But it's one I've not actively kept up with trading since the time we looked at it here, and then it went up there. Apart from that, I've not really looked to ping pong it. How's this looking on the 4 hour? Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. At the end of the day, it's high risk, high reward, isn't it? This thing could easily go to $500, $600, $700, or it could be people look to rotate out of it now and take profits. You just don't know, but that's all we can do, innit? That's all we can do. Is that also proof of work? Yeah. What, Zek? Yeah. Yeah, Zek. I mean, what? You got Zek, Monero. I imagine, well, to be honest, I imagine anything privacy-wise or decentralized-wise, like fully decentralized, is proof of work. You know, Zek, Monero, Zen, I assume, is proof of work. Dash, not exactly 100% sure, but I assume anyway. You know, for assumptions, I assume that is proof of work. They're all old coins as well. You see, before kind of proof of stake was fancy and the preferred method. All kind of in and around that, aren't they? But obviously, moving into Wednesday, what do we have? We have a 96.7% chance of a 25 basis point cut coming in from FedWatch. So the highly anticipated outcome is that the Fed cut by 25 basis points. What do we have this week? I don't know, because obviously government shut down. I don't really know if we have much else apart from, let's see. Oh yes, there is some. So obviously, yeah, you got the rate decision on Wednesday. You've then got Trump and President Xi meeting on Thursday. So that's obviously a big one, isn't it? We also have the first report. Now, key thing to remember is the first report on this is always the most important. After that, it doesn't really matter. But the first report that you get of GDP is the most important. You then have like 2 other reports on the same quarter, which are basically just recalculations that mean nothing. And then on Friday we have core PCE. So yeah, pretty. There is, in this shutdown, there is actually quite a bit of interesting data. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this thing. I think if it started trading above there, I think I would probably manually cut it anyway. So I'm going to put some alerts on it just in case. But I'm going to let the trade breathe. But yeah, I mean, if it started popping up there and going into price discovery, I think I'd probably be eager to cut it manually anyway. Because you know what we want it. You want it to show signs of weakness now after coming into a key level. Which if it doesn't, then yeah, I'll probably look to cut. Digibyte, or however you spell it, it would have in that class also. Yeah, that's true. But Bitcoin has responded greatly, hasn't it, to US Open? You know, it's popped up nicely. And what did we get on US Open? Completely forgot about that. Need to remember. So we actually, yeah, we come down. So we come down, first 2 candles, first 2 5-minute candles, and then the rest have been spent recovering. So yeah, solid response from Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm just going to run to the toilet. I won't be too long at all. Do make sure in the meantime, drop a big like, subscribe, sign up to BLOFIN, sign up to Stonksy, all that good stuff. And I'll be back in a few minutes and then we'll carry on. So if you got anything that you wish me to look at, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just carry on cracking through with what I've planned. So yeah, I'll see you in a few minutes. It won't be a minute. I'm back. I am back. Let me get rid of this. Oh. Keep it coming down. See, the thing is, you can't get excited about something like that, can you? Because 5 minutes later, it could be significantly higher. But so far, so good anyway. We'll see how it goes. Hello, Bobby. How are we doing, my good friend? How are we doing? Yeah, keep it slamming. It's unfortunate, really, because it was all the way up there. That would have been a nice entry. Oh well. Slam it down. All the way down. Good weekend, mate. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. Yeah, it was good. I had bits and bobs on. Yeah, nothing kind of notable. Like, my weekends will soon be a thing of the past anyway, because I get the keys to my new house hopefully early next week. I hope to start work on it. I'm going to try and absolutely blitz it and get it ready for Christmas, or at the very latest, kind of start of January time. That's what I'm going to aim for anyway. Yeah, that's the aim. So we'll see how it works out. But yeah, what did you get up to? See, what likes are we on? 13 likes, not bad. You can do. Oh, come on, we can do a bit better than that. Come on, let's get the likes on. I am short on Zek as well. So we'll see how it goes. Balls to the wall, really, because of how it moved. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Again, I've got alerts set up here because I may manually close it if it starts showing signs of strength above here. But apart from that, I'm just shorting the sweep of the 2021 high. And that's pretty much where we're up to. Yeah, we've got some actually quite key pieces of data coming this week as well. I didn't realise. Bitcoin sentiment turns to neutral as fear and greed exit fear zone. There we go. It's exited the fear after the climb. Which is no surprise, is it? It's always a lagging data anyway. Oh yeah, he's won thing, hasn't he? I don't know what it's called, but he's won something anyway. That guy, obviously a pro Bitcoin guy. How an all-time high gold sell-off could push Bitcoin to 200k, 200 bands. How the gold rush ended in October 2025. Gold's history crashes and peaks. How money started flowing into Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a discussion topic, isn't it? Trump-linked American Bitcoin adds 163 million in Bitcoin, boosting Treasury above 445 million. Wowzers. Retail must partner with fintechs or prepare to fail. What else have we got? Not much. Michael Saylor to make UAE debut at Binance Blockchain Week. They bought more, didn't they? Yesterday. They bought more, didn't they? How much did they buy? Let's see. 390 Bitcoin for 43 million. So far, they've spent 47.44 billion, an average price of 74k, which is actually quite interesting because that takes the entry basically towards that the April low, innit? Their entry now is basically cemented at that April low. What's going on? Bitcoin looking like it's come back down a bit. Yeah, I mean, some chop is likely, innit? You know, had a great move from, Sunday into early hours of today. Great move, and we swept, a key liquidity area. So some chop, maybe some downside, I assume is going to be pretty normal heading into Wednesday. Maybe we get some de-risking into Wednesday. Whatever. How's this moving? Not a bad start. I won't be confident on this thing until it gets down to like 330 and I can put my stop to break even. It's the only point I'm going to become confident with it because of how it moves. Other than that, it could literally take me out in one candle, really. Let's see, how am I looking anyway? Currently 17% P&L. 17% P&L, so not bad. Not bad so far. What lever are you using? 7, mate. I was going to go with 5. I was going to go with... At first, I was going to go with 10, and then I was going to go with 5, so I just thought, right, let's just hit it in the middle. Yeah. We'll see. Let's see how it goes. Again, I mean, this type of thing used to be my bread and butter, was looking at key high time frame moves. Still is, really, to be honest. Just looking at key high time frame moves. I mean, if we look at the 1 hour is up there, and the 4 hour is obviously fast approaching that one zone. It's not quite there, but it's it's almost there. And the last time we was up here was in this area, wasn't it? Now the only problem is obviously if we get a repeat of this where it's got like kind of one more leg to go, but obviously the oscillator topped out at 1 on the 4 hour, and then we got a deep retrace. So hopefully that kind of thing happens again. But on the 1 hour, and we have had two cells come in on the oscillator, one after another as well. So we'll see how it goes anyway. Again, not overconfident at all until we get down to a decent point where I can put my stop to break even, and then just sit back and just see what happens. But Bitcoin nuking all the way down here to close the CME gap will obviously help. Yeah, we're not getting not a huge amount of movement, are we? Again, it feels a bit weird because it's not as late as it normally is. But of course, we've already had US Open because of the time change. Yeah, this thing just doesn't seem to be able to get going, does it? It just doesn't seem to be able to get going. Let's see, what is up? What's up the most today? This thing. Yeah, I saw something about this. This thing has been ripping on it. But yeah, look at some of these. I mean, on a 24-hour, yeah, but I mean, look at that on a 7-day. H's been ripping. Humanity Protocol. Christ. Let's have a look at some of these. Virtual Pi, of course, we covered very briefly. But let's have a look at virtual, and we'll have a look at that H as well. Let's see. Yeah, this thing has just been on a non-stop tear, hasn't it? Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Let's have a look on the 1 day. Yeah, that's just like a raise, the whole down move, isn't it? Look at that as well. Where I had my box was actually kind of in and around where it got that wick into it. I mustn't have looked at this for ages. I don't think, yeah, I haven't looked at this since the move up here, which was obviously back in like April, May time. Crazy. Let's see what this has been doing. Whoa! Look at that. I mean, this thing has done a 10x, over a 10x in the past 2 months. Over a 10x. I mean, that was a great move in itself, wasn't it? On the 13th. Look at that. Bang. But this thing just keeps on pushing and pushing. Bit of consolidation, but I mean, that is a monster move, isn't it? You always want to just be in these things before they actually move, don't you? Just like, come on. I mean, how many of these types of moves have we saw? It's basically just like musical chairs at the moment, isn't it? I think. Because if you look at, let's have a look at total. Obviously, total has only started going up the past few days again. So the pumps on everything that we've saw so far basically just been like musical chairs of just capital rotating in and out, like your Co-AI, your Mix, these other ones that have just been popping off. Yeah, Bitcoin's looking a bit heavy, isn't it? It's looking a bit heavy. Obviously, see me gap down towards here, which would obviously line up with coming back into demand. So, yeah, I'm not really too sure what we get next, people. I think patience. Obviously, if you traded this move up, congratulations, well done. If you haven't and you haven't flipped short from towards up here, maybe just some patience. But we will definitely get opportunities show themselves this week. With that event slap bang in the middle, FOMC, we're definitely going to get something leading into it and something after. If there's anything you wish me to cover specifically, let me know in the chat. Well, I know Nick asked for some crypto stocks before, so we'll run through them. Coinbase is slightly up on the day. MSTR slightly up. GME again. I don't know really whether you actually assign this as being a Bitcoin stock or not. I think they just bought it the one time, didn't they, and stopped. I don't know really how closely people tie this together, but Mesoplanet has been doing well from off the bottom. Circle. A lot of these have opened high, but then have started to sink down. Robinhood, again, kind of one of them ones where it is crypto because it lists crypto, but it's mostly kind of TradFi in it, but it is definitely tied to it a bit. Gemini continues sinking. Tron is up 10% nearly, so that's good. SBET up nicely. UPXI. How are these doing on the daily? So these have been bleeding off, haven't they? Yeah, these have been bleeding off. What's that? What's Bitman doing? That's kind of, yeah, I mean, that's just volatility contraction in it. Yeah, nothing really much else for Bitcoin related stocks. Obviously got Galaxy Digital there too. That's one of the better looking ones for sure. XYZ is finally creeping up. I kind of lost my patience with this, but finally creeping up there. Yeah, let me know in the chat what trades have you got on at the moment. Let me know. What trades have you guys got on at the moment? Just trying to charge my phone. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's really lucky. I think someone mentioned this, didn't they? In the chat. You could definitely see this kind of consolidating before its next move, whether that be up or down. I mean, that monthly candle. The monthly candle on this is just insane, isn't it? I mean, that is just insane. What a monthly candle. But yeah, I mean, sweep and fill in of the 2021 May. So that is my thesis on the trade. Bitcoin is actually putting in a high wave candle at the moment on the monthly, which isn't the best at look. I'll be honest. Depending on how this closes, this could close very, very interesting. That is typically what you would see on a trend reversal anyway. Bitcoin long and ETH long, says Nick and Regman. Regman, are you Reggie Man or not? I haven't seen Reggie Man in the chat for what feels like the longest time. I don't know whether it's if this is Reggie Man and maybe you just change your username. Can you confirm or deny if you are Reggie Man? Yo, nah. Oh well. Well, it's great to have you, mate. It's great to have you. I wasn't sure because I haven't seen him in the chat for ages, and it's obviously very, very similar names. But yeah, great to have you folks with me. I am not. Well, doesn't matter, mate. You are equally as much of a legend. Yeah, I haven't seen Reggie Man in just a random Swede. Love that, man. Are you part of Stonksy or CSE, or are you just You just like watching the streams? Are you in either of the Discords or any of the plans? Or are you just loving life, just chilling in the stream? I appreciate it regardless. Mate, you watching. But yeah, if you haven't, do drop a like, do subscribe, of course. Just been following Martini Guy for some years. Oh, okay, yeah, nice. Well, mate, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you with me. Apart from, I mean, oh, look at gold. Oh, gold is getting slammed, isn't it? Stonksy hit that beautifully, didn't it, from up here? Gold is getting slammed, nearly -3%. And that weekly obviously ended. Gold was on a run of 9 straight green weekly candles. 9 weeks green straight. And then obviously this one come in and ended it. Actually putting a tweezer top there on the weekly as well. You could see this getting a bit of a pullback, couldn't you? I mean, it's already had a pullback, but I mean, after 9 green weeks, yeah, there's definitely something underway there. But, I mean, you look at it and you think, okay, well, where could it come into liquidity-wise? This area looks good because you've got not 1, not 2, but 3 daily wicks not swept. So the 3940 area looks good to me in terms of grabbing liquidity. Whether that leads to a reversal or not, we'll have to see. I mean, I think that area looks semi-okay. And then obviously below there, got this area. And then finally, you've got this. So, depending on how deep gold goes, I would expect the bottom to be in one of these. Just have to see how deep it goes first, won't we? But yeah, I would be expecting the bottom to be in one of these for sure. Now, whether that's obviously wick here, or into here, or into here, or into here, obviously there's quite a big discrepancy between there and then obviously, the end one. But we'll just have to see. But yeah, big sell-off. I mean, what's it done already? It's already done 9%. Which is crazy, isn't it? For an asset like gold, just trading like the way it has done on the way up and then the way it has done on the way down. It's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, Stonksy catching it on the 1 hour. Lovely. And obviously continues to trade it down. Can we look at gold rejecting like that, as in people have more faith in the market? I don't know. I don't think so. Because I think gold is just running. I mean, in the end, obviously, I think there was FOMO just driving it, wasn't there? But people are definitely just parking the money into something, hard and safe. The thing is, equities and the stock market have been strong, haven't they? It's obviously been on the crypto side where we saw weakness, which Bitcoin has largely actually retraced. I mean, we are basically way more than halfway, aren't we, to retracing that point to the sell-off of 120, 121k. We're nearly there. But I wouldn't say so, no, because we've not really seen any fear in any other market. So I think it's just generally been kind of Bitcoin/crypto weakness so far, which is fine because the market goes through spells, doesn't it, where it outperforms equities, and then other times when it's weaker against equities. Obviously, for now, we've just saw Bitcoin be in a period of weakness, but no doubt at some point in the near future we'll have a period of strength again. ZEC all the way back into my entry. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure about this. I don't know. I don't really know. Keep it open anyway, but yeah, I have a feeling up towards kind of 380, and I'll manually cut it. We'll see anyway. But yeah, Bitcoin does look kind of heavy, doesn't it? It does look kind of heavy. But I mean, it's an interesting theory, yeah. I mean, does, you know, gold falling off kind of ease whatever fees were going on? I think we just had, you know, real demand for gold. And you got to remember as well, money, while the stock market keeps going up, money actually is, you know, continuously being sold off from it too. You know, people are taking profits over there. And whether we like it or not, you know, gold remains, doesn't it, the hard asset. Bitcoin is yet to mature into, you know, a hard asset in terms of fear. So we're yet to see that. So for now, gold, you know, keeps doing its job. I mean, the question is, obviously, and something I mentioned on stream is, you know, what is maybe gold trying to tell us? But yeah, that's where we're up to with that anyway. I mean, Velo's having a good day. Pi, I mean, these things, look at that. That's like near enough the same pattern in it, just giga pump and then obviously selling into it. This thing is back down. That had a good push up. Borg still in and around 50 cents. Oh, Zek's pushing back up. Zek's pushing back up now. Yeah, keep a close eye on this. Keep a close eye on it. See what happens. Put probably one more. Put one more alert on it there, just to be sure. I mean, that is pretty much like the extremity of what's going on in the market so far, isn't it? All the fun was had on Sunday and early hours in Asia market so far. The S&P looks like it's just hanging around. That's in and around kind of where it opened, isn't it? The major crypto stocks just still same as before. Yeah, I mean, the strength on this is insane. In hindsight, should I have just taken quick profits while we were down here? Probably, yeah. But we'll see. We will see. We'll be having some guests on this week as well. How's your ZEC trade doing? It looks like it's come just back up, just above break even. Yeah, I mean, down here it was looking all right. And then I'm in from in and around like 360. So in a slight loss at the moment. Slight loss at the moment, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on it. You know, if we start pushing in towards kind of like 370, above 370 towards 380, I may just give myself a hard stop and a manual stop. Just kind of see how the next few hours go. Again, you know, for me, when you're at a key high time frame point like this, it's always, I like to always have a stab, because, you know, it may not go your way and you may not get it right, but it's not often that we get something approaching such a key high time frame point as we've got this approaching. Obviously, it's 2021 high. Well, already, you know, obviously swiped it and then back under. So, you know, it may go on to create new highs. There's definitely that kind of like FOMO and hype about it, isn't there? But at the end of the day, it is just a chart. So we'll see. No doubt, though, some point today, I'll know if I'm staying in it or getting out of it. And yeah, I'll either be in or out of it. I just don't know which one yet. It depends on how the next couple of hours go. I mean, it's still obviously strong, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, thank you for joining everyone today. Obviously, a different timing, but we will be on the same times now for a while. We have the time difference in the US opening across here. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Do make sure, if you haven't, drop a like, subscribe, of course, sign up to BLOFIN, sign up to Stonksy. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Try and get a guest on for tomorrow as well. We'll see how that goes. And of course, I'll let everyone know in the Discord who's in there, where my ZEC trade is up to, whether I get out of it, what I do with it, whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.